everyone, this is a continuation of our previous video on how we set up the session. I've also added here D'Antoni's track. So I have the 3 tracks in the original form. They're going straight to our monitoring. Look at the output, it's going straight and it's muted. I haven't touched these tracks at all. The only thing that I have done is put markers on top so I can go from one to the other one, and you can see them here in the markers. I have labeled them. I actually need to get the actual name of the song from D'Antoni, and I got Electric Cave. For now I put the name of the artist and then Los Gallos. So after I've done that, I went ahead and I reduced the level, check this out, of all 3 tracks to look pretty much the same, but I also checked in here on our U-Lean meter, our integrated LUFS. What is LUFS? LUFS is loudness units full scale. That's how you measure loudness. And depending on the medium that we're going to target a different number. For now, we're going to target these masters to go into YouTube or Spotify, and that is -14. So later on, we're going to work on this number to get to -14. For now, I've lowered the level. And why have I lowered the level? Is to give myself plenty of headroom so that any processing that I will do afterwards, we're not distorting the inputs of those channels. And also to be being able to increase the level afterwards the way we want it, not the way that it was given. Pretty much this one, to master, is a copy of the one on top, just with the levels. And these levels, all of them are playing around -25 decibels here. Integrated, it's a measure over a period of time, so you gotta let it run a little bit. And see, for example, this track is reading by now 27, so I can increase a little bit of that level here. And hopefully over a period of time, it will show the new number. Okay, it's going up. Let's jump to the next song. I'm getting older and still on depressants, and they break my heart, but I keep it together. And you good. It's a guide. The other one, because of the sonics of it, was sounding a little louder, so I dropped a little bit. And now let's go to Los Gallos. It's a completely different style, and that's what we're here for, to master tracks and make them sound as good as possible. Now that I've got to that, and the idea for this first video is to get all 4 to go to -14 again. Why -14 here? Because that's the output for YouTube and Spotify. Here, and let's review this routing. I've gone out of the to master, and I've gone through a bus on something that I labeled to master, into the to master track, and then out of the to master track through another bus that we labeled previously print, to a print track. On the 2 bus, we're going to do all of our processing. No processing will be in the print or the master, because by the master, it will be already recorded. So what do I have on the master that you see the plugins? One is the U-Lean meter. I apologize for that. Before the trim. And then I add a trim just to make sure that I'm not distorting my digital to analog converter. Again, these are in the master after we've done the processing. When we do our masters, we're gonna record into this track called print, but we're not gonna get there yet until we get masters done. So now, Maxim. The first thing that we know about our specs, YouTube or Spotify, it's that it's asking for a peak of -1. So we're gonna lower the ceiling to -1. And then we're going to bring up the threshold on the track until we read this -14 on the LUFS. Look at this. I gotta be patient, because remember, it's going to take some time. I can check the short term on top to have an idea of how loud it is right now. A little more. I guess I'm getting close. You can see the line. Yeah. One more dB. A little more. Pretty much we're good there. Let's check the other tracks. What I try is, once I find the volume for one, I try not to mess up with this one, and I'm going to try to play with the level feeding this one over here of how loud should I get to that or not.
I'm getting older and still on depressants, and it break my heart, but I keep it together.
So this one is a lot louder.
Should know there's nothing worse than feeling see through, and people only calling when they need you. So before you answer, think about the V2.
It's gonna keep up with that. If you don't want to wait for too long, you can reset the numbers by pressing this X at the bottom.
I'm getting older and still on depressants, and it break my heart, but I keep it together. And you should know there's nothing worse than feeling see through, and
Where's
people
the line
only
over
calling
there?
when they need you.
Probably
So
need
before
another
you answer,
dB.
think about the V2.
What is it over there? You can press, if this is too much of a change, it's changing by 1 dB, you can command click on it and just drag it a little bit up.
I'm getting older and still on depressants, and it break my heart, but I keep it together. And you.
Let's go back to the previous one. I probably went too far with this one. Yeah, you can check that it's a little too far. So drastic of a change in how the loudness looks at the algorithm. And that's why it's very important that you guys do a combination of the two things. One is the meter as a reference, the other one is your ear. And to me, that's the most important one of the two. Your ears are what ultimately are going to make the call. And that's why I dropped this one regardless of how loud it felt. The idea here behind this whole thing is that people do not have to adjust the level while they're making the work. So you don't want to be touching that volume knob every time that you have a new song.
Feeling see through, and people only calling.
Negrita de mis pesares, hojas de papel. Negrita de mis pesares, me dijiste a mí.
This one still feels.
Negrita.
Okay. So that completes the first part of the assignment. If I let one of these ones run, we should be targeting the -14 on that track. This is the Yulin meter. I don't want to make this video any longer, but I have to because we have an option. If you guys bought the plugin, the what's it called? The TDR limiter 6 that I had suggested at the beginning, well, how do you do it in that case? Well, instead of the max seam, we're going to have in this time the TDR6. I have muted the 2-bus. This is another 2-bus. And again, you don't have to have the 2. Please do not have the 2. It's just in case you got this one. And the first time that we want to do in here is bring this peak to, again, we said -1. And then we're going to add the drive on the output. I went too far, but here we have an integrated value that hopefully shortly should show up. For some reason this is not showing up, and I'll look into it. I just don't want to create a whole new video until I find what's going on, but this should be again in LUFS integrated. The good thing is that we have this other one, and I pushed it until I have that volume over there.
Should know there's nothing worse than feeling see through, and people only calling when they need you. So before you answer, think about the V2.
That sounds good. Maybe a little too much. Let's go to the other one. On the mariachi song, the vocals are the ones that are keeping it up, and later we'll see how we control that. Okay, so here's the option. If you have the TDR G6, you can push the drive. Make sure that you bring the to -1 this one. And if you have the Maxim or any other maximizer, you can play with the threshold, and remember to have the sling at 1. That's the first thing that we're going to do, and afterwards I'll show you the first instances of EQ and how can we have it so that each one of these songs has a different EQ to make it works the best. Take care.